started cleaning up the top of the main tree here. Well, I should say towards the house. I had left the leaves on for a good week, maybe 2 weeks, to help dry the lumber out in case we do decide to do some stuff with it. So you can see what I'm doing is trying to cut the small stuff, putting that right inside so I don't have to carry it too many times, and trying to work around the green evergreen without damaging it more. Now that's up in the air and it's not going to really come down because it's so heavy down here, plus it's pinned in here. So I'm just cutting them down and being careful where I step and everything as I'm cutting, because you got lots of wood laying around. And then each day I work on it, I'm trying to take one load of brush and put some big pieces of wood on top of it to hold it down. So that's where I'm at now. I'm ready to start loading the truck. And you can see I've come a long way though. We still have a few to cut, but not too bad. And then I'll start working my way back here. And then we still got the side hill where we have some pretty big pieces on. And a lot of brush in here to clean up. So we've come a long ways, still a lot to do. I did get some measurements with Amy the other day. We measured some tree parameters. So let's go over here away from the traffic so you can hear better. I didn't run the numbers yet. There's a few different calculations I plan on doing. But here's the raw numbers. So let's see. So the height of the tree, since we're able to now measure it on ground level, is 76 feet 2 inches. And we're assuming that the other part of the tree was equal to that. So, and I'm pretty sure that's a pretty close assumption. Pretty safe assumption. The fallen part at the base 4 feet up, so I'm not counting this, where it flanges out here. At 4 feet up, it's measuring 3 feet 6 inches across. I actually thought it was a little bit more, but that's what I measured the other day, so we're going to go with that number. At 8 feet up, so about in here, it's measuring 3 feet across. Now, if we were to cut a log out of this, which if I was cutting it, I would start right in here. Now, there could be some punky wood in there. We're not sure until we actually cut it, but that's where I would start. If you cut there, and then down here where it starts to flange out for that first limb, which would be right in here, it's a 16-foot log with the smallest end being 2 foot 10 inches across. So actually I think it's right in here, the narrow part before it gets wide. So from there we can get the board feet of our first log, assuming the end is good, which I have a good feeling it is, but could be wrong on that one. The circumference at 8 feet up would be 9 feet 7 inches. So if you measure the circumference around here. The limb that broke off, the limb that hit the house up there and was held back and ended up breaking, that was 7 inches across where it broke. So that's pretty impressive that the house was able to break a 7-inch branch perfectly healthy of beech, very hard wood. So the next measurement I wanted to do was, when you measure for big tree databases, you measure at 4 feet up. So at 4 feet up, before this fell, so at the time this was still standing, which was 2 weeks ago, it measured 26 feet around. So 26 feet around at the base, 4 feet up. After we lose this part, we're measuring 21 feet at 4 feet. So that's the number I'm going to have to use now, but it was the other one. The canopy, so how far out does it stretch? You can go by that branch all the way over into this area, well, over there, or you can go from down there, let's see, yeah, actually out to that one, or you can go from there over to here. So either way you do it, you come up with 94 feet or 93 feet. So 94 feet or 93 feet is the canopy as it is right now. Now if you measure the way this tree fell, so the canopy from over here to over there, then it's dropped by 10 feet. So basically these other limbs have come out through that tree. Otherwise we would have lost a lot more. But I think in the measurements you go by the widest canopy, but I might be wrong. Maybe it's the narrowest canopy. But I'll look that up because that would make a big difference in the calculations. Okay, so there's the numbers. And now I got to get loading the truck, but we'll continue the cleanup of the top and then we'll start cutting back this way. Cutting firewood as of right now is what I'm thinking. When I get up into this area, and maybe I'll keep a couple pieces for turning on the lathe of the smaller stuff, but honestly I don't know if I'll have much time to do lathe work, and I can always get that size. I don't have a big lathe, so it doesn't take much lumber to do that. Okay, so far the tree is holding, but you know, I'm still worried about the base, but we'll see, time will tell. I do need to treat the tree, and I am going to do that. I've already purchased the stuff, and so I do plan on doing that. Okay, let's get loading. By the way, our honeybees are still alive. We have 3 hives, 2 in the house and 1 in the boxes that had swarmed. Really haven't had time to do much with them. I would love to get the one swarm out of the house, Eve, but it is what it is. They're not going to do any damage really there. It's kind of an open area and I can get them out by putting some aluminum there. But I'd like to gather them first if I could, but not really a good way of doing that. Okay, let's get loading.